Welcome to the hunt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Huntcast Podcast. I'm Greg, and that is
Doug.
All right, and it is Sunday, July. What the hell day is it? July 14th.
Yeah, July 14th.
Flying by.
Yep.
Flying by.
Halfway. Almost halfway.
So we're back. We got another special guest with us today, and we're going to jump right in with him here in a minute. We will go over some IBO scores later on. And if you listened to the podcast last week, we talked about something that touched the nerve for me. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was from the clip that I saw. So
okay. Yeah.
we'll talk about that when we're done with our guest for tonight. And our guest comes from, if you have never heard of Alpen Optics, Vixen Optics, Bresser Optics, you should have. And if you haven't, do some research. But tonight we have Tyler, who is the sales manager from Alpen, and he is with us. He was up at Archery Fest with Jack Coad, a good friend of ours from up in New York State.
Yep.
Tyler, how you doing, man?
Oh, and Greg, it's not too bad. And you guys?
We're doing all right. It's a little warm again, but
it's
we're in the AC.
Warm.
Yeah. It's not as warm as it is in Arkansas, though.
Right.
No. I think it's like 100 degrees with the humidity.
Nice. Now we're like 80, 82.
Yeah, you can keep that. Just leave it there.
Yeah.
Don't send it our way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So how you guys been?
Good. Shoot's done, and now, hunting season right around the corner. We got food plot stuff going on, but let's jump in. So you've been with Alpen for how long now?
Almost 5 years now.
Okay, cool. So give us, forgot to put the phone on vibrate. Give us the rundown. So a lot of people that may have never heard of Alpen, like where did they come from? Who's Bresser, who's Vixen? And it all kind of relates to the parent company, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, sir. So Alpen originated in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Okay.
Which, if no one knows where that is all the way in the southeast corner of California.
Okay.
Started by a good couple, it's Tim Gardner. Sorry, Vicky and Tim Gardner, and they did the business real well for 20 years. They started out doing archery tournaments, ASAs, did a lot of journalism stuff with the OWAAs, and they did well for 20 years, and they just wanted to close up shop, and it's ready before they did, and we just acquired the assets, and they went.
Gotcha. Okay. So now the company that acquired it is, I'm not mistaken, Explorer Scientific, correct?
Yes, you are correct. Hold all the cards.
Okay, gotcha. And Explorer Scientific is known for their telescopes, correct?
Telescopes and NASCAR, like National Geographic.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how long have you been the sales manager with Alpen?
Sales managed for Alpen about 2 years.
Okay.
And I originally started out in the telescope world.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. So I've been using Alpen for a little while. Doug got a chance to see a lot of the product up at Archery Fest.
Yeah.
So I've been using Tetons for a while. For those of you hunters, Rick White is a very big part of the Alpen world. So give us a breakdown, because I've got some binoculars, I've got rifle scopes, but you guys are kind of moving all over the place with a whole bunch of stuff now.
Yeah, we're trying to keep up with the times, if you will. Technology's always moving. Everybody's going into the thermal world.
Yeah.
So we got some prototypes of the thermal rifle scope. I'm just trying to make sure that they match the fit and the finish. That way we're continuing the legacy that Alpen has always been known for. We got handheld rangefinders, which you guys have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Range-finding binoculars. We got thermal monoculars. We got some great rifle scopes that are affordable.
Yes.
And that's the ultimate thing. They all have lifetime warranties, except like the thermal rifle scope and the thermal binoculars. It's, electronics, it's hard to warrant for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But we definitely do our best. I'm a very forgiving person. If you call me and say, hey, I dropped my stuff, I'm a little outside the warranty. I was like, all right, send it in so I can put it on my wall of shame. and I'll send you a new one.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
I just want you to be honest. You know, if you can't recover it, if it fell off a ridge or whatever, that's fine. We'll usually just send you a new one.
Oh, nice.
On the
Okay.
binos. You know, we try to take care of even the older customers. We try to get them into the new brand. That way it's in the lifetime warranty as well.
Right.
You know, we kind of change up the whole bringing it in a lifetime warranty, because usually if we no longer make it, you have to get it. But I'm starting to implement it. You have a pair that we no longer make. Here's something that's in the same magnification that you want.
Right.
Here's an upgraded version. That way you kind of give the customer options, like, oh, I want to stick with this, or, oh, what's all this new fancy stuff that we could get? That's
Yeah.
still under that lifetime warranty.
Okay.
Right. Gotcha.
And it's no questions asked, it sounds like. So whether you
No.
drop it from your tree stand or you run it over with your truck, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter if the dog gets a hold of it.
Okay.
Nice.
That's nice.
Nice.
Okay.
And so, I mean, just from my background with the product, I've been using it now for quite a while. And I do actually have a couple of rifle scopes on our hunting rifles. We actually took the scopes that came on the guns off and put Alpens on in place of them. And one thing for me, and Tyler, you can, allude more to this, but the difference picking up a set of Alpen binoculars or a rifle scope compared to a Vortex, a Bushnell, a Leupold is, and Leupold to an extent, I'm not going to reach because people will be getting pissed off. But, so, but the difference of that early light where it's legal shooting hours, but it's still kind of dark, the difference is amazing compared, with the Alpen binocular, especially like a Vortex. That's probably the easiest company to put them up against.
Yeah.
How much better you can see in that low light situation.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now,
And we also, we came out with a newer bino called the Chisos. Greg, I don't know if you've seen them yet, but they're entry-level ED glass. So they still get that low light visibility when you have to do the low or early hunts, or it's a late night hunt. You can actually afford those ED glass and not have to spend an arm and a leg to get it.
yeah.
Yeah. We're looking up the website. So 360 retail 10 by 50. That's like unheard of.
Yeah. For ED, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tyler, what makes the difference? So what is it? The glass itself? Is it the coating? What helps with that low light situation?
So it is the coatings on that's ED.
Gotcha.
It helps just, and it's a little bit of both. It's coating and the glass.
Yeah.
So if you look on the Tetons, it's got that weird magenta color.
Okay.
So it in low light conditions, it brings out the darker hues.
Okay.
Like the darker greens, the browns, the blacks. It literally magnifies it a ton. And that's why you're able to pick up that moose in the tree line, that bear in the tree.
Right.
That deer that's just sitting along the grass line. Actually see it.
Okay.
Now there's the green or the green colors of the coatings, which those are in the Apex XPs. They're still ED, but they just have the opposite end of bringing up the more natural color, if you will. So those coatings actually play a big part. And people are always like, well, why are they this color? It's like, well, now you know the reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I honestly, that's why I asked. I never knew the reason. So I hear about it. I hear about all the coatings and, this has this coating, this has this coating, but I never really knew what the difference was. So makes total sense.
You get other companies that use UHD, HD, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just ED glass.
Okay.
Gotcha. So they're just giving it a different name so that it sounds better.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the pie is what they're trying to do.
Yeah, so the ones that I'm currently running are the Teton 10 by 42s.
Mm-hmm.
And it says with Abbey Prism. And if I pronounced that first word incorrectly, I apologize. What does that mean?
So it's an Abbey Koenig prism.
Okay.
So if you could sit there and you had X-ray vision, you can look at the prism. Most prisms are in 45 degrees and they bounce light from one to the other, right? So this one they're stacked on each other to where it's not bending the light as harshly to get to your eye. And that's why you have so much light transmission.
Okay.
I've seen some light transmission reports that are around 98 to 95. So we put on the box that it has 92% light transmission
Okay.
because that's just
Oh, we lost you a little bit there. We apologize. Tyler has a couple spots where we're losing his cell service, I think.
uh-oh.
There you go. Wherever you're at right there, stay there.
Okay, I won't move.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So now I see we're kind of flipping to the website. So this is one that I didn't see at the shoot, and I didn't know it was there. So there's a bino called the Black Tusk.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to bring that one up.
It has the ED glass, it looks like.
Yep.
Well, ED coating, I guess.
It does have the ED glass. So I only have 5 of each sizes. And I physically can't tell the difference between those and Apex XPs.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And so the Apex XP is kind of like the top of the line, right?
No, the Rainiers are at the top of the line.
Rainier, yep. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. The Rainiers are at the top of the line, then it follows by Tetons, Apex XPs, which the Black Tusk will fit into the Tetons area, but with just a regular BK4 prism.
Gotcha. Now, okay, so you just mentioned the Rainier, so we're on the Rainier page right now. So 10x42s are currently sold out. The 8x42 is available. This says ED HD. So we know what ED is now. What's the HD, that high definition portion of that?
That's where I'm going to have to communicate with individuals and say there is no HD.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It's just someone using an AI. If I had to guess,
yeah, that's gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah,
that's just marketing.
So just marketing.
Yep.
Then the laser rangefinder binocular. We just spoke about those. So those are the Apex XPs in 10x42, and they have a built-in laser rangefinder. And we got to play with those at the shoot a little bit.
Yeah.
And those things are awesome. So if you're looking to have that, not have 100 things in your chest pack, this would be a way to go.
Yep.
And price-wise, I don't think I've ever seen a rangefinder binocular at this inexpensive of a price.
Yeah. Right around $1,000 or so, right?
It's right at $1,000. Has an angle compensation, line of sight. You can do yards or meters. I'm testing a higher magnification than just for craps or gigs.
Okay. And I played with it at the shoot, but I've never actually used one in the field. What is typical max range if you have a laser range finding binoculars? What's max range on that, you think?
Well, no, I used it at the archery fest, and I was able to range on the second hill. There was a deer in the backwoods back there.
Okay.
He was a little over 800 yards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'll never shoot that far.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Not with a bow anyway.
No.
And so I'm reading this here. So very similar to your handheld rangefinder, which I have.
Mm-hmm.
This has the OLED red lettering inside of it. So it's much easier to see than some of the black and greens that pop up.
Yep.
Yeah, I find that black to me is harder to read, just like you said, Greg. And the ability to control the brightness, whether you're in dusk or dawn type areas, you can bring it down so it's not just punching you in the face and it's red.
Yeah.
Now, the main difference between the little handheld versus the bino version, handheld can do a max range of 2,500 yards.
Okay.
The binos can do 5,000 yards.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is nuts.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you can kind of toggle through it so that you don't have to use the range finding feature, right? You can just kind of glass and
you just don't press the button.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you don't press the button, there's nothing on the screen. It's just
correct.
Just looking at typical binos.
Glass. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're just using regular binos that are ED as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Nice.
And then, so you mentioned thermal imaging, and we got to see one of the units you had up there. So where are you guys at right now? Because obviously there, a lot of thermal folks have been around for a little bit. But so we're looking, I see the binoculars here, and you got a 25, a 35, a 54. Yeah. Okay. So compare, I know it's hard to compare, but if you had to put them up next to somebody else, who's the competitor closest to you?
Excuse me. Well, you have ATN, you have AGM, you have Pulsar. It all depends on the individual that's going to use it. The main differences between those three is the digital zoom. That's it. Everything else is internally the same.
Okay.
Other than the actual objective size, those are going to be the differences.
Yeah.
They're 384 processors, and digital zooms are going to be different.
Okay.
I personally like the 35 because it gives me a nice wide field of view without giving me complete tunnel vision like the 54 possibly can.
Right.
But some people like to go big or go home.
And the 25, I assume that's real wide, right? Real wide field of view.
So the difference between 25 and the 35, other than the objective and the digital zooms, the 25 is like 1.5 times and native.
Okay.
And the 35 is 2 times. So
Got
there's not much difference. It's just if you want to save a little extra money, go with the 25.
Okay.
Makes
and
sense.
Guys that are buying that, are they hog shooting, or are they shooting coyotes? What are these? What's the typical hunter? Who's buying these?
Well, that's the funny thing. I've had farmers purchase them here.
Yeah, well,
locally.
Yeah.
Just to watch their cattle, just from predators. You can do, no one wants to hold a 10-pound rifle with a thermal scope on.
Yeah.
It kills your shoulders. It just kills everything. But with a scanner, it's just easier.
Yep.
That can have that digital zoom, but you got some predator hunters. There are hog hunters. I've seen Ronnie Adams take it out to when he does Nutri-Rat hunts.
Okay. Yep.
So he took his out there, got me some good footage on that. So you can use it for just about anything, and you can use it during the day too.
Right.
Oh, yeah?
I do remember you telling me that at the shoot that you can use it in the daytime.
Yeah.
You can use it during the day, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because when everybody thinks of thermal, it's like, oh, it's just straight night. It's like, no.
So during the day, it still works based on heat detection, I assume. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Wow. Interesting.
Nice.
Okay.
Now the rifle scopes. So I know just from my end, I have a Kodiak, and I have the 6-24 by 50. I have it on my Coyote gun. So, and we also have a 1-4. Similar glass that's used in the binoculars. Give me some breakdown on the rifle scopes.
So the rifle scopes are all going to be fully multi-coated.
Okay.
Every single one. They're all going to come from the same. There's 3 major lines. There's the Kodiaks, the Apexes, and then when you get to the Apex XPs, that's where you're jumping. You're getting into the higher end market. You're getting Japanese glass. That's ED, nice wide field of view. But you're jumping into a $1,000 plus tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have the Apexes, which are great middle of the road, still fully multi-coated, nice wide field, and high relief, nice field of view, real comfortable to use.
Yeah.
Just get a little bit more options if you want to go out, touch something.
Okay.
And the Kodiaks are great for entry level. If you got someone that just bought a $3,000 rifle, but they don't have $3,000 on a scope, hey, here's a good option.
Yeah.
Or if they buy a Walmart gun forbid.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
They can afford something that's not going to literally break their leg after they just spent their arm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And now all the different levels of scope, do you have different reticles? So you can get MilDot, you can get BDC, they have different reticles for all the lines, or no?
So they do have BDCs, MilDots, and that's typically it. I don't have the magazine right in front of me.
Yep.
But there are a wide selection to where it's just crosshair reticles versus MilDot with drops in it.
Sure.
And stuff of that nature.
Okay.
So, and I'm looking at the Apex XPs, and I actually do have the 2.5-16, and that is a smart dot. Can you explain to the listeners what smart dot is?
So smart dot, how when you get into the higher realm of scope market, you have a red dot that's built in, typically. So there's 2 functions to that. There's a level or brightness adjustment, 1 through 10, I believe that's on there, or 1 through 11. And then you have regular dots on it. The dots are the automatic off.
Okay.
But when you adjust it to a number, which is again brightness, and you're in the low ready position, the red dot's off. But when you come up to shoot, kicks on.
Nice.
And it's pretty quick and instantaneous.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty nice.
So that way, if you accidentally leave it off or leave it in the on position, it's going to time out after 15, 20 seconds.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
So then, obviously, we've talked about just about everything except spotting scopes. So the spotting scopes, you have a slew of those, very similar to the binoculars as far as your breakdowns. You have the apex, you have a Shasta ridge, the wings, and the Kodiaks. Yep. So the Shasta ridge, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of like the middle of the road with the Kodiaks.
Correct.
And the wings kind of replace, I'm trying to go off the binoculars.
So it goes by Kodiak, wings, Shasta, apex, and then apex ED in the spotting scope world.
Gotcha.
So the Kodiaks are the entry level. They have two versions, a straight through and then a 45 degree.
Yep.
They're both 20-60-60.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you step up to the wings, it's a 26-80. They only offer one version of that.
Yep.
And on the Shasta, I believe it is a 20-80 by 100. So it's a beefier boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Apex, which is a 20-60-80. All of these are FMC or fully multi-coated.
Yep.
But when you get into the Apex line, that's where you're getting ED glass.
Yep.
So you're stepping up into that tier. It's got dual focus on it. And then you have the Rainier version, which I don't think we have anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say that one's not listed. It's showing the regular Apex is out of stock, but the XP is still in stock. And that's a perfect example of guys going from the East Coast to the West Coast looking for a spotting scope. They don't want to break the bank. This is $900. It's 20-60 by 80. And a lot of guys are like, man, that thing is huge. It's kind of big, but you're going to see a whole lot more. Now, if you want something small, it's going to be like just that glassing.
Yeah.
Real quick, but your binos, you don't want to be holding it to your face all day.
Yep.
You've got the wings at 20-60-80 for $500.
Yeah.
Or do a Kodiak for $250.
Yeah.
Super small, and you can do it in a straight or a 45.
Yeah. It's light, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pack it easy.
Yep.
Yep.
So now, I only know a little bit about Bresser and a little bit about Vixen. So is that all part of Alpen, or is Alpen part of Bresser Vixen?
So Explorer Scientific acquired Vixen 2 years ago.
Okay.
So then we inherited the sporting optics side. Bresser is a well-known company over in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's been around long enough in the industry knows who Bresser is. I am currently trying to phase out Bresser. That way I can just concentrate on Alpen and Vixen. Because Vixen's got a lot of high-end rifle scopes.
Yep. Okay.
Again, if people have been around in the industry long enough, they know who Vixen is.
Yep, I remember Vixen.
Yeah. But Bresser's just 3 to me is too many. And I'm just trying to concentrate on one now. That way, when it starts becoming self-sufficient, I can move on to the next.
Right.
And I can just check on both.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about 3.
Okay. So does Alpen do all of their own manufacturing other than the glass? Or do you don't make the glass though, right?
Well, we don't physically make it, but we are the largest manufacturer of glass.
Okay. Gotcha. So now I don't know much about how this industry works, but is it a situation like flat screen TVs where there's only 3 panel makers in the world and everybody kind of grabs from those 3 manufacturers and just rebrands it? How does it work with the glass?
No, with glass, there's certain amount of manufacturers that just make glass, but glass is glass.
Okay.
Now, you have a glass manufacturer, then you have a assembling manufacturer that does the body, the assembly, and all that other jazz.
Okay.
That's where it changes a little bit.
Okay.
But with us, we are, like I said earlier, we're the largest manufacturer of optics, glass, understanding how everything works. Explorer Scientific has been around for 15 years itself.
Yeah.
And then Alpen's been around for 30, still being done by the same manufacturer when the original owners had Alpen.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, it says
So-
something. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, we're not going away anytime soon. Now, I understand everybody's not buying anything, but it's just one of those things. We got to wait until season gets closer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so now, along on the Alpen side, there are some accessories that you guys do. One that would be obviously self-explanatory is the tripod adapter for a binocular. Okay, that's, most optics companies have something to that effect. But you guys, this came out actually a couple years ago, because 3 years ago this weekend, I was at the Greenbrier and I used it to film. You guys do the little HD action camera.
Yep.
Recently, you came out with a headlamp, yes?
Correct. We have a little headlamp. Now we're revamping the action camera.
Okay.
Just think of it as a little GoPro.
Yep.
You can use it as just like a regular GoPro, if you will.
okay.
Same electronics. I'm just trying to get everything updated on it. That way it's just, a new rendition, not just the same old material.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one likes the same old song and dance.
And then the one that Doug pointed out is you guys actually have a set of carbon tripping poles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
So are you guys making it, or is it a pole manufacturer and they're just, putting your name on it?
No, we're making it.
Oh, nice. Well, actually, they look pretty darn good. They got a whole bunch of baskets. They got the cork handles.
Yeah.
They're definitely neat. They're pretty nice.
Like, how did that? I mean, I don't know. How did that translate? How does an optics company jump into making trekking poles? How does that work?
Well, I mean, you got to think of it this way. Alpen's is not just a hunting optics company.
Right.
We're outdoor lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Outdoor lifestyle covers a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It covers everything from camping, hiking, fishing, all of it.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to kind of break up from everybody else that just strictly does sporting optics.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle without.
Gotcha.
You're trying to discover the difference, in what you do is a lifestyle, and how can Alpen help accommodate you in that difference.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. So,
And for a while, you guys were doing a trail camera, if I remember. And
No,
then,
Bresser was.
oh, yeah, that's right. It was Bresser. Yep, that's right. And it was probably Bresser that had the bird feeder that had the video camera, right?
Correct.
oh yeah, I never saw
Yeah,
that.
I do remember that. I remember back in the day. We talked about that with them.
Yeah, I never saw that.
But so what, is there big sales coming up, getting ready for season, something that, we can throw out there to listeners to get more people? Because obviously, we're waiting for some stuff that you guys are doing, getting closer to the season for the shop so that we have it in the shop so people can come and get it. But to get more people, attracted to the Alpen brand.
Greg, what you can do is you can always direct them to the website. Worst case scenario. I'm pretty flexible. Like, I can come up to your shop and we can do an event.
Yeah.
Kind of do,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
that way I can support my dealers, show them that they have the backing and support that is Alpen.
Right.
If they have any questions, so it always hurts that when I do a show, no one asks the questions and you get asked later and then you have to call me back.
Yeah.
It's like, well, let's just do an event. That way we can do a barbecue or a cookout,
Yeah.
an archery thing. If you have an archery lane in your shop,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
we can just do a thing right then and there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's figure that out. But
Yeah.
so ours is generally, just obviously we have listeners from all over the country, but will you guys be running any, specials direct to consumer as the season gets closer? If they don't have a dealer and they want to buy something, because obviously we're just kind of bouncing through the website here and looking at red dots now. And so, Alpen has a lot to offer, and there's so many guys. It's so funny now. I shoot IBO. So a lot of guys now, you see them dropping hashtag Alpen in their posts because guys are like, well, why the hell haven't I used these for 5 years?
Yeah.
So, it's nice. It makes a huge difference, especially in an IBO setting when it's, you're shooting from bright sunlight in a dark tunnel. With the binoculars, you can definitely 100% see everything.
Yeah.
So I get why a lot of these guys are switching to it. So it's nice to see it. And we just want to drag some more of the civilian type, as they say,
Yeah, right.
into buying them.
If you got people that call you, Greg, or get a hold of you, or you can give them my number or email, and we can get them set up, just direct consumer, because we have our own warehouse that carries inventory.
Right.
Okay.
So, they can get a hold of me. They can go to the website. If they're wanting some kind of deal, we do support military because I'm ex-military as well. Law
Very nice.
enforcement.
What branch were you in?
The Army.
Very nice. Very nice. I didn't know that. I saw the hunt at the shirt at the shoot, but I didn't ask any questions.
It's because you were a little busy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You were a tid busy.
But but no, that's cool.
We can. Yeah.
So then, do you deal with any kind of national retailers for, any of the major retailers, throughout the country, or are you just sell local shops and website kind of deal?
Oh, right now, I mean, everybody would love to get into the big retail stores, but they're extremely hard to get into.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm trying to get my foot into other doors. So, I mean, we got local shops that are local.
Yeah.
We support all the smaller mom and pop shops.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that's the bread and butter is the mom and pop shop.
Yeah. Okay.
It really is.
Yeah.
You can take care of them a whole lot better than the bigger mass market guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're always trying to shake and deal. That's all they're trying to do.
Absolutely.
And you can have an actual personal relationship with smaller mom and pop shops.
Yes, no doubt about it. And that's the attraction. That's the attraction to the mom and pop shop. So
it is. It really is.
Yeah.
You're not having to deal with a suit all the time.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. All right, cool. What else we got, Greg?
So other than that, so to get to see Alpen Optics, if you don't have a dealer near you, best thing to do, go to alpenoptics.com. They also have a Facebook page, Instagram page. I believe, Tyler, you said you were working on some YouTube stuff.
Yep, and we got a wonderful TikTok now.
Oh boy, I'm still talking it up.
Oh boy.
And if you have ever listened to Rick White, you can check out Rick White, and you can see some of the interviews he's done with, because there's another Pennsylvania boy that runs Alpen Product, Bluner.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been on there. I've been on there, and Nick is a great guy, and he has a whole bunch of different guests, but he goes over a lot of the products. So if there's something very specific you were looking to get an answer to, Rick, you probably has done a video on it at some point. And then you can call us at the shop, High Trends Archery, and we can either help you out and order it, or we can get you in touch with Tyler so that you can order it.
Yep.
What else? I think. What else we got, Tyler?
We are fixed to do a show in Jurassic.
Oh, Jurassic Classic.
So we're going to Jurassic Classic. So if there's anybody close to where Jurassic is at in Ohio, me and Rick will be there.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool. So check them out. And what are the dates for Jurassic? Do you remember?
August 2nd and 3rd, I believe.
So yeah. I think it's usually a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know Friday's like a concert deal. But yeah, so it'll, head up there. If you've never been to Jurassic, it's an interesting time, to say the least. Been there a couple of 2-3, but it's a fun show, and they always have bands and good stuff going on. So check them out. They'll have obviously a booth there, and Tyler and Rick. Tyler would be the younger of the two. Nothing against you, Rick. Just the big difference. Just kidding. No, but check them out. You guys did pretty decent archery fest. So
yeah,
I know,
great show.
So I know my brother-in-law did buy a pair of the binoculars with the rangefinder inside them, and he really likes them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my wife got hand-me-downs because I had 8x42 Tetons, and I got new Teton 10x42, so she got the old ones.
See, it's all still supported by that lifetime warranty.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Jack was making fun of me. He's like, "Why didn't you give her those ones? Those were the used ones." I'm like, "Because I wanted the 10x42s."
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But no, definitely check them out, guys. If you've never seen Alpen Optics, you've never had them in your hand, find a local dealer.
Yep.
If not, if you're local to the shop, I don't have our inventory yet. Tyler is putting some packages together and we will have them soon, but I always have mine at the shop. So you can come in and play with them, check them out, see, look, touch, feel, and then we can always special order something if you need them quicker than later. So.
Well, Greg, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
It's the other foot now. So you use the Tetons.
Yes.
On the 10x42s. What do you like about them as a user?
So the fact, number one, of the 10x42, there's a lot of 10x42s that are very heavy. These are not heavy. They fit in all of my chest packs or my vinyl harnesses. So I've used everything from marsupial to FHF gear. And currently, because of my connection with Elevation, I'm running Elevation vinyl harnesses, and they fit in there perfectly. I don't ever have to worry about them wiggling around, falling out. The fact that the eye cups are silent when you turn them up and down, super easy to, clear up or zoom or whatever you're looking to do. I literally, Jack was laughing at me because when I did give my wife the old binoculars, I mean, to me, they weren't filthy, but she's looking at them and it looked like they'd been sitting in a pile of dust for 3 years.
Yeah.
But I don't put my lens caps on.
Really?
And I've never had a problem.
Well, on a chest pack, you wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't either.
climb up and down trees and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of crap getting in there.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem seeing through them. And I mean, when Jack cleaned them, there was an inch of dirt on the eyepieces. But yeah, so they're clear. I can see everything. I don't ever have to try to squint to get a view, and I've had to do that with other binoculars, including very high-end binoculars. So that's, I'm trying to think, I've been using Alpen for at least 8 years. Back when we started Rack and Rod, back when we had the TV show. So that's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
Now, now you say you do a bunch of ASA shoots. What are you noticing when you're using the Alpen gear? What do you think gives you the advantage?
The fact that I can see in the dark. So it's IBO, but yeah, the fact that I can see rings in the dark through my binoculars, because there's IBO, man, they set up some serious, targets that are very well hidden and very well in the shadows.
Yeah.
ASA is a lot more in the open. So yeah, it might be dark, but not like what we deal with at IBO.
Yeah.
And I can definitely pick out the rings in my binoculars, no problem. So it gives me at least the ability. Now, if I make the right judgment number, I'll hit it. But I don't have to guess what to aim at. I can see the rings, give myself the advantage of finding a spot, a chunk of foam missing, something that when I pull those binoculars down, I already know my eyes are glued to where I need to be shooting.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, well, Tyler, we definitely appreciate you coming on, and we will share a link
Appreciate it. Yep.
with our YouTube version of the podcast. We'll share it on Facebook and Instagram. I don't think Doug's going to TikTok.
Yeah, I'm not a TikTok kind of guy. Yeah.
But we definitely appreciate you having it coming on, man. And, we will do whatever we can to give you guys the support you need.
Yeah.
With binoculars, helping people get into the right binocular.
Yeah.
So we look forward to it, and we're excited about getting them into the shop, get ready for the season. But we have a topic that we have to cover to finish up our evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Tyler from Alpen Optics. And make sure you check them out, alpenoptics.com. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Have any questions about them, give us a call at the shop. Reach out to us in an email, huntcastpodcast@gmail.com. We'd be happy to answer whatever we can for you.
Yep.
If not, we will get you in touch with Tyler, and we'll go from there. So, Tyler, we'll appreciate it again.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Good talking to you.
And,
Have you on, guys.
yeah, absolutely. We'll be in touch soon.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Y'all take care.
Later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, big shout out once again to Tyler from Alpen. He was generous enough to give us some time on a Sunday evening. But we're going to jump into a couple things. So first, real quick, we're going to burn through the third jewel of IBO. No, I was not there. It was in Ohio. I am obviously sitting in Pennsylvania. So there was a whole bunch of movement on the pro scores. So the first we're going to touch on is pro Males, Levi Morgan comes out on top with a 422. So he combined, that doesn't sound right. Oh, shootout score, sorry. I'm like, how the heck did he do that? But yeah, so he won. Dan McCarthy came in second.
Didn't Levi win last week?
Well, that was ASA.
Oh, was
2
it?
weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so the last IBO was,
He was on the podium, I believe.
well, yeah, he came in second
Okay.
in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
McCarthy won in Pennsylvania with like a ridiculous score.
Yeah. And that's when his wife won as well. Didn't they win
Yes.
together?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Third place in male pro was Joseph Goza, and Jacob Sluzar was right there, man. He came in fourth. So let's see. We'll go over to senior pro. Senior pro. Ken Lance. No, that's why. That's not semi-pro. Or senior pro. That's semi-pro.
Yeah.
Ken Lance, Brad Thays, and Brandon Wrights. Nate Baumbarger, who's a Pennsylvania boy out of Western PA, came in fifth. I did see his post. So that would have been my class. Let's see where I would have fallen. Not that I really want to know. Oh, yeah, I would have got smoked on that one. Those guys are shooting good this week.
Yeah.
All right, so let's find senior pro. No, that I looked at the wrong one. Pro seniors, that's why they have it backwards.
Yeah, it's backwards.
Your buddy came in first.
Did he?
Yeah.
Hammer time.
Hammer time. So Timmy G takes first. Tony Taza in second. Jeff Kirkland in third. Let's see here. Women. Man, they put this stuff all over the place. Pro female. There we go. Pro female. Cara Kelly.
Okay.
Our girl from Loma. Coming up. Big score, too.
Nice.
401. Shootout score of 53. So, yeah, that's pretty
for
good.
her. Yeah.
Erin McGladdery. I swear, I really, really want her to say something to me and see if she has an Irish accent. I really do. Sharon Wallace, nice, came in third. Emily came in fourth. So,
Okay.
might have had a little tough time at the course this weekend.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Let's see, who did I miss? Trying to find something specific. Where is it? There it is. I want to see something. Okay. So, have I told you about Claire before?
Yes.
Okay. So, Claire is from Michigan. Her parents are awesome.
Yeah.
Her mom shoots on the Matthews team. They shoot for gas. And literally, I'm pretty sure almost every single event she's been to this year, she's won.
Yeah.
She did come in second this weekend. So,
Okay.
still on the podium. But, man, this girl can just shoot. I just wanted to see where she was at.
Yeah.
But, okay, so IBO scores are done. We're going to touch on, Doug and I had our homework to do this week. I will be upfront. I made an assumption last week because of a clip that I saw. And I might have went up a little too far. It's okay, it happens.
Yeah.
But so you got to watch the podcast.
I did. Yeah, I checked it out.
And so the podcast that we're talking about is Go Hunt. It was a myth, what do they call it? Mythbusters?
Yes.
So
Mythbusters.
it was, kind of after the TV show. They actually brought up the TV show in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was like the very first thing they talked about in a myth was the 6.5 Creedmoor cartridge.
Yeah.
And Brady was his name, correct? The tall, skinny
Yes.
guy in the middle? Yeah.
Yep.
So Brady.
Yeah, with the beard, I think.
Yeah, longer hair.
Yeah.
So,
And this is the first time I've actually seen that podcast.
that was the first time I ever saw it. So,
And they seem like cool guys. It's very kind of laid back, kind of like us, just kind of two guys just BSing together. And, well, the three of them, but.
Yeah, because I think the guy on the right side of the table is actually the owner of Go Hunt.
Oh, maybe.
I'm almost positive it is.
Okay.
I don't remember the guy to the left. I don't remember what his name was.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
I can see his face.
Yeah, they all work with Go Hunt.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, very, very informal and just kind of three guys sitting around BSing.
Yep.
It was good. It was entertaining. So
yeah, I mean, it was like us. We curse every once in a while. It's not like a huge deal.
Yeah.
Even so, when this all came up, and they said that we're going to bust some myths. The guy that was on the left says, "Well, I don't want to go too quick here because Brady will get fired up real fast." And the guy on the right was like, "Oh, just go right at him, and he's going to boil over."
Yeah.
But yeah, so they get into the deal, and what I saw in the clip, and this is the downfall of AI, and ChatGPT, and all these other things that just pull stuff out of videos, because it was literally like a 15-second clip, and
Yeah.
all I heard was 6.5 Creedmoor suck. You're skinny, and
Yeah.
that's why you shoot it. There was no other, so it aggravated me.
Yeah. Kind of struck a nerve.
Yeah. So Doug and I did watch the episode. He watched it, and I watched it by myself. We were, watching it together so that we can form our own opinion.
Yeah.
So,
But, getting back to AI, it worked.
oh yeah, 100%.
Because it got you drawn in
Uh-huh.
and got you fired up.
Yep.
And so mission
Yeah, now I want to see what those idiots talking
Yes.
about, little
So,
bastard.
Yeah, mission accomplished. It works.
So, all right. So, obviously, they're talking about the 6.5. The way that it was brought up,
yeah.
was okay. You're on an elk hunt. You're going to shoot a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah.
Now, Doug and I both know this. There are a lot of people from the east that go west that will shoot a 6.5 Creedmoor
Yes.
because that's what they read on the internet.
Yes.
Is it a flat shooting bullet? Yes.
Yes.
Is it something that you want to take a shot at like 800 yards on an elk?
No.
No. And so the little clip that I saw was, him kind of telling people like, why would I just take that? I'll take what I normally shoot, but
Right.
they didn't have that part in there.
Yeah.
So Brady, if you're listening, I doubt he is. But if you're listening, I apologize for jumping down your throat last week.
Yeah.
So we did a little research. Doug and I both did a little research because some of the numbers that they came out with was like, no, that just doesn't seem right. Like we own a 6.5. My wife shoots it for deer and she shoots 140 grain bullet. And I would have no doubt in my mind that at 300 yards, she can drop a deer in its tracks.
Yeah.
So you talk about the numbers you found. What did we come up with?
So the numbers I found, and I just did a comparison, same manufacturer.
Mhm.
I believe it was a Barnes. I was looking at the Barnes Vortex, I believe. So I just looked at it and then I looked at the Creedmoor, then I jumped to a 270 and then I went to the 308,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So now basing it on a 200-yard zero.
Oh, and wait, before you jump.
Yeah.
So according to what they found was that at whoops, sorry, we got audience outside the window here.
Yeah.
A couple deer walking by.
See, that one, the spots are just about gone on that one.
Yep.
It's fading.
There we go. So they said that you don't want to shoot this at an animal if the cubic energy, or not the cubic energy, the foot-pounds of torque
Yeah.
energy, the velocity
Foot-pounds of energy, yeah.
is below 1,600.
Right.
So, no, go ahead.
So, which, I mean, the ones that I found, and again, I just went with the Barnes Vortex, which is a copper bullet.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what I shot my elk with. Both.
How to do it in there, how to throw it in there.
Both of them. And it works great. Yeah, so this one at a 200-yard zero,
Mm-hmm.
120 grain bullet.
Mm-hmm.
It's shooting at 2470 feet per second
Mhm.
and 1626 foot-pounds of energy.
Okay.
When you jump, which that falls into that criteria. So he said have to have a minimum
Right.
of 1600
Mm-hmm.
foot-pounds, which this does.
Or you don't want to be any less than that.
Right.
Is what he said. Yeah.
Okay. Which I kind of agree with.
Yeah.
But just as a comparison, when you jump to a 270,
Mm-hmm.
now you're at 27
Mhm.
feet per second. So you're 300 feet per second faster.
Right.
The energy goes from 1626 for the Creedmoor, and it drops down to 2131. So, I'm sorry, jumps up to
Yeah, jumps up,
2131. So that's almost 500
Mm-hmm.
foot-pounds. So,
For sure.
which is quite a bit.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
mean, in my head, obviously, similar to what he was thinking is, 270 is not going to be the bullet I take for an elk.
Yeah. And that's not my choice
Right.
either.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But
It doesn't meet the criteria. Yes. But obviously now that's a 270. So that base number might be different because it's a 270.
yeah. And honestly, the grain, the size of the bullet is pretty close.
Yeah.
The Creedmoor was 120 grains and the 270 is 129.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's real close.
So after we watched it and I got to see the whole clip, so aggravated me a little bit was obviously Doug and I went in to dig up some numbers and go, okay, let's see like what this really is.
Yeah.
So the numbers that they gave you from 0 to 500 yards on a Creedmoor that he pulled up was the very, very first one that you can possibly look at, ammo.com.
Yeah.
And it was an Aguila 140 grain full metal jacket boat tail. And so the specs that he had at 100 yards, it was 2,429 feet a second with 1,834 foot-pounds of torque. At 500 yards, it was 1,811 feet a second and 1,019 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
So obviously Doug already found the one that was better than that.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of, after I watched it and then we went back through and I'm like, well, all he did was literally just pull up a page and went, okay, this is it.
Yep.
So the one that I went and looked at is, because they were using 140 grain, I found a Hornady in 147, and like theirs at 400 yards was already well below the 1600. The 300 was well below the 1600. The 200 was 5 feet below the 1600.
Yeah.
The Hornady I found was at 300, 1761 foot-pounds of torque at 2,323 feet a second.
Yeah.
So then Brady had mentioned he shoots a rum.
Yeah.
Which it's like, man, just say Remington Ultra Mag. It's not that hard. You don't have to abbreviate it.
Yeah.
So I pulled up what he's shooting. Now, granted, I don't know if it's the bullet he's shooting, but I'm going to base this off of 200 yards and pull up your 308 that you found.
Okay.
So at 200 yards, that's where they zeroed this particular gun in a Rem Ultra.
Yep.
The Creedmoor was zeroed at 200.
Yep.
And that 308 was probably zeroed 300.
200.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So his rum was shooting 2,000, well, it could be shooting 2,627 feet a second with 3,371 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow.
Now, granted,
It's a 30 grain bullet. I mean,
Right.
it's a caliber bullet. So
yeah,
what's the grain on that?
that is a 220 grain.
Wow. Okay. That's a big chunk.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving real fast.
Now, the 308 that you had.
Yep. 308 is at 2,490 feet per second.
Okay.
And 2,062 feet.
Okay, so now this is super
foot-pounds of
funny,
energy,
right?
so.
So this is super funny. 200 yards.
Yep.
Right? So 6.5 Creedmoor. Here's the same home today that I found.
Yep.
At 200 yards, 2,443 feet a second.
Okay.
With about 30 feet a second off, right?
Yep. 50 actually. Yeah.
50?
Close. Yeah.
Foot-pounds of torque, or foot-pounds of energy, 1,948.
Okay. So you're 100, basically 110 or 115
Right.
foot-pounds. Yep.
So do I get what they were saying? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was not my first choice to go take on an elk hunt.
No.
Would I recommend shooting an elk at 500 yards with it? Probably not.
No.
Unless you are just one hell of a shot and you can put one through his eyeball. I wouldn't chance it.
No.
But can you take it and make an ethical shot?
Yeah.
At 300 yards?
I think so.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in the book.
Yeah. And listen, there's thousands of guys that kill elk every single year with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my choice.
No.
I wouldn't do it. But
I it was the way, like, he almost was like bashing the caliber.
Yeah.
That's what aggravated me.
well, you know what? The guys out west, they typically do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the running joke now.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, the guys out west don't particularly like the round. The outfitters and the guides, they kind of, if someone walks in a camp with one, they kind of, their eyebrows don't.
Yeah, okay, let him shoot it. And he's shooting on pretty good. I'm not too worried about it.
And you know what? That's just the thing. I'd rather have a guy that has a 6.5 Creedmoor that shoots the thing lights out and has been shooting it for years, as opposed to some, Yahoo who goes out there with his rum that he just bought at the shop. He put 3 rounds through it and he's not proficient.
The shoulder's still black and blue.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'd rather have the guy who's proficient with it
Yeah.
as opposed to the bigger gun that the guy can't shoot.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And I'm a 308 guy all the way. And I actually even went in. So everybody talks about how flat the 6.5 is.
Yeah.
You know, how flat it shoots. It doesn't shoot flat, yes. A 260 Remington shoots much flatter.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I wouldn't shoot that at a deer past 200 yards.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the downfall of these guys. Like, out west, they don't come out east. We go out there. So, like,
Yeah.
it's a big joke to them.
Yeah.
But they're the same guys that shoot 1,000 grain arrows.
Yeah.
It's in the Neapolitan complex and Napoleon complex, I think, you know, but, well, I don't know. So that was, we had to dig into that.
Yeah.
Because after last week, I was really upset about it.
But, you know, and like I said, it'll do it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily my choice.
No,
I mean,
no.
you know, you can.
But you have to know what the gun can do.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes.
So not my choice. Obviously, that's not his choice. I'm a 308 guy. Worst case, when I take a 301 mag or something, sure. But, you know, I prefer a 308.
Yeah.
But if somebody knows the ballistics, knows what their gun is capable of,
Yeah.
knows what they're capable of,
That's a big part of it.
right, and
Yeah.
they're not taking 700-yard shots with it
Yeah.
at an elk,
Yep.
you know, a deer at 500, maybe.
Yeah.
An elk, no.
Yeah. Now, like last year, when I was planning my trip, I had to make a decision. Okay, which gun am I going to use? The 308, which I use for deer, and I've been shooting that gun for over 20 years, and I'm really proficient with it. It's nice and light.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Browning X-Bolt, the micro, so it's really light. Or do I bring my 7mm Rem mag,
Mm-hmm.
which honestly is a better round for elk?
Sure.
It's going to shoot further. It's going to hit harder.
Mm-hmm.
But the damn gun weighs like freaking 8 pounds.
Right.
And I didn't want to be lugging that up and down the mountain. So that, you know, that kind of plays into it too. So
Yep.
yeah, for me, the 308 was the better choice.
Right.
Because, you know, when you're doing this, whether it's a gun or arrows or
right.
whatever, you try to check off as many boxes as possible. You've got the ideal situation and you just start checking off boxes, and, you know, whatever checks off the most boxes, then that's what I go with. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's like my 308. Everybody laughs at me. I shoot a Ruger American.
Yeah.
Compact.
okay.
The thing weighs like 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Kicks like a son of a bitch. My wife's 6.5 is a Savage,
Yeah.
and it's the long barrel.
Okay.
And that's really heavy.
Yeah. It's nice and tame though.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's going
But
on.
she sits in a tree stand or a blind.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about recoil.
Yep.
So why not?
Yeah.
And she's not taking 300-yard shots with it. They're, 25, 30 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say,
most.
it's well under 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing. So, on that note, we wanted to dive into it. We wanted to see what it was all about after I saw the clip. We get it. Should they have done a little bit more due diligence and a little more research? Probably.
Yeah.
But do I disagree completely with them? No. It's gotta be the right person, the right situation, the right round,
Yes.
all that fun stuff. But I didn't watch the whole. Once I got past the 6.5, I stopped watching. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to get, because I figured there would be something else, and then I'd have to be taking
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah. Get twisted.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we're gonna call it a night. I believe.
Yeah. I guess so. It's, about an hour.
Yeah, moving a little bit now. So you got us for a little extra.
Yeah.
But we thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah. And you know what? I'd like to hear your thoughts. You know,
Yes,
send us a
definitely.
message. What's your, if you shoot a 6.5,
Right. Or a rum.
or well, yeah. Or, if you go out west, or what's your,
Mhm.
what's your choice?
Yep. Hit
And
us up.
why you do or why you don't shoot a particular round,
Right.
Yep. So,
So easiest way, huntcastpodcast@gmail.
Yep.
Over on YouTube, you can literally comment right on the podcast, right on the episode. Same thing on Podbean. Spotify, unfortunately, you can listen to it. I don't think you can leave comments on Spotify,
I don't believe so.
but just shoot us an email. Find us on Facebook, Huntcast Podcast, or TikTok, or not. Listen to me. Tyler's got us on TikTok, Instagram, and we will be happy to answer whatever we can.
Yeah.
We also did put up, I put up a video. The Doug was kind of eating. I got here kind of early tonight. So you can head over. I did a breakdown on my Elite era. So that's on our YouTube channel currently. But yeah, reach out and let us know.
So
Yeah, it's already up.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody already looked at it, watched it.
okay.
So we'll be back next week. Our goal is to have Randy Cheyenne
Okay.
from the outfitters that were with us at Archery Fest.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting to hear 100% back that he can be there. If not, we will have something fun and interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
In the meantime, like I said, shoot us an email. Want to hear about something, talk about something. We'll probably do some sort of product next week. I don't know what product we're going to do.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
And let us know what you're doing to get ready for the season. We're going to go into some of that too.
Yeah, it's coming.
So in the meantime, check us out next week. Huntcast Podcast. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. See ya.